Assalamu alaikum. Around the year 2005 or 2006, I was in Woodhill prison in Milton Keynes, which is in the centre of England. And I remember there was a brother there who was not from England. His name was Anas. Anas was not from England, and his family was in another country. And so he didn't have he didn't have family support here, he didn't have a family network, he didn't have people that would send him money. So the prison would give like a small sum of money to him every week, which was about £4 a week, which is say about $5 a week. He would get that, and from that he would buy any things that he wanted from the prison canteen. If he wanted some toiletry items, for example, he wanted some food that he liked. In his case, most of it he would save his money and he would put it onto phone credit so that he could speak to his family. So maybe once a month he would make a short call, he would gather up that money, so it would be like, £20 worth, and then with that he would make a short phone call to his family once a month and speak to his children. Now one day he came to my cell, and he showed me a letter that someone had sent him. So our prison names and numbers were put out on the internet so that people could write to us for support, and he had not been convicted of any crime. So our names and prison numbers were there, and people used to write to us. And he showed me a letter that some Muslim woman in America had written to him. And she had written to him, and she had enclosed her photograph and photographs of her children, and she had drawn like love hearts all over it, and she'd written Habibi, which means my darling, and things like that, and says, I really want to get to know you, and this is who I am, and this is what I do. And I mean, it's something I've never understood, but women, they do that sometimes. They would try to form relationships with people that are in prison. In this case was a bit different, but I saw it in America, where people on death row that had committed some horrific crimes, and they would get sacks full of letters. There was a point where they would get sacks full of letters where women wanted to form relationships with them. Anyway, so he showed me this letter, and she's written this letter, and at the bottom she said, I'm sending you $3 so that you can buy stamps in order to buy postage to reply back to me. So he showed me that letter, and we just had a laugh, over it, and he put it away, and that was that. So one day he came to me and he said, hey, look at this. And he showed me his prisoner account statement. He said, there's £250 in my prisoner account. I said, how did that happen? He said, I have no idea, no one sends me money. Then we figured out what had happened. Instead of writing $3 onto his account, the prison admin person, whoever that was, they wrote $300. So instead of getting £2.50, which is what he should have got, he got £250 straight into his prisoner account. And before they could retract their mistake, straight away he put it onto phone credit, and he phoned his family and all members of his family and his children and his uncles or aunties, and he had long conversations with them for the first time in many years. And he finished that credit like within a matter of a couple of days or so. Now this brother Anas was not from this country. He didn't have family that would send him money. He didn't have money, but he was very generous. You're thinking, well, how can you be generous if you don't have money? He was generous with his time. He was generous with his love. He'd be talking to other prisoners. He would be uplifting other prisoners. Always you would see him in the cells of other prisoners or with someone else. He would be helping them. He would be uplifting people that were feeling down or that were stressed out. He helped me a lot. And he would, in the early days of prison, when I went there and I was struggling, he helped me a lot. And the lesson I get from this story is, when you give sadaqah, when you give charity, and remember the Prophet ﷺ said that wealth ma naqasa malin min sadaqah, wealth does not decrease because of sadaqah, because of charity. But charity, sadaqah, is not just with money. but it's with time as well. And time is more valuable than money. Time is more valuable than money. Money could be replaced. You could give a £10 donation and tomorrow you would get £50. That can be replaced. But time can never be replaced. Once you've given it, you can never get that time back. If you spend an hour with someone or helping someone, you won't get that time back. So what this brother Anas, what he used to do is he used to be generous with his time and give charity with his time. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he compensated him, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he rewarded him, and he paid him for his time. So this was just a short story that I wanted to share today. If you like this content, please like it, subscribe, and turn on the bell, and please share this video far and wide so that others may also benefit from it. Until the next episode, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.